The wolf and the portal. The faint rustle of leaves whispered in the dim forest, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and hidden mysteries. At the center of it all stood Illyria, her dark blue gown swaying lightly in the soft breeze. Before her, a glowing portal encased in twisted branches and golden light pulsated faintly, as though alive. Behind her, a white wolf sat silently, its amber eyes fixed on her. Are you going to stare at it all day, or are you going to step through? The wolf's voice was low, almost a growl, yet distinctly articulate. Illyria glanced over her shoulder at the creature. I'm still deciding, Fenris. What lies beyond is uncertain. Fenris tilted his head, his ears twitching. Everything is uncertain, girl. You've crossed a cursed forest, survived shadow beasts, and now you hesitate because of a little glowing doorway. A little glowing doorway that could lead to death or worse, she shot back, narrowing her eyes. You weren't exactly forthcoming about this part of the journey. I didn't know the portal would appear here, Fenris admitted, his tail flicking. But portals don't just open for anyone. If it appeared, it's because it's meant for you. That's comforting, she muttered, sarcasm dripping from her words. She turned back to the portal, her fingers curling into fists. What if it's a trap? What if it's not? Fenris interrupted sharply, his tone cutting through her doubt. What if it's exactly what you've been searching for? Illyria sighed, her shoulders slumping. You don't even know what I'm searching for, Fenris. The wolf stood, padding closer to her. You think I followed you through the ashen woods just because I enjoy your company? I know more than you think, girl. You've been chasing whispers, stories of a door that leads to the heart of all magic. She glanced at him, surprised. How do you? You talk in your sleep, Fenris said flatly, sitting back down. A lot. It's hard to ignore when you're muttering about portals, light, and redemption. Illyria's cheeks flushed, but she quickly turned her focus back to the portal. Even if that's true, I have no idea what's on the other side. What if it's too much for me? You won't know unless you step through, Fenris said, his voice softer this time. But you've come too far to turn back now. The portal shimmered brighter, almost as though it were responding to their conversation. Illyria took a hesitant step forward, her fingers brushing against the edge of the glowing frame. A warmth spread through her hand, calming and inviting. It feels alive, she murmured. That's because it is, Fenris replied. Portals like this are ancient. They connect worlds, dimensions, sometimes even timelines. They're not just doors, they're sentient pathways. She pulled her hand back, startled. Sentient? You mean it's watching me? Not watching, Fenris corrected. Judging. Great, she muttered, crossing her arms. So now I have to impress a portal. Fenris huffed, something between a laugh and a growl. You're overthinking it. The portal wouldn't have appeared if it didn't believe you were worthy. Or it wants to lead me to my doom, Illyria countered. Enough with the self-doubt, Fenris barked, his patience clearly wearing thin. You've survived things that would break most people. You've earned the right to step through that portal, no matter what's on the other side. Illyria hesitated, staring into the swirling light. And if I don't? Then the portal will close, and you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what might have been, Fenris said simply. His words hit her like a blow, and she knew he was right. She had spent too many years searching, too many nights dreaming of this moment. To turn back now would be to surrender to fear, a fear that had already stolen too much from her. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, her fingers once again brushing the edge of the portal. This time, she didn't pull back. The light enveloped her hand, then her arm, and then... Illyria! Fenris called, his voice urgent. Wait. But it was too late. The portal surged, pulling her through in a flash of golden light. Illyria stumbled as her feet hit solid ground. She blinked, her vision adjusting to the new world around her. The air was crisp and filled with the faint hum of magic. Towering trees with glowing leaves surrounded her, their trunks shimmering with veins of silver. A river of light wound through the forest, its waters sparkling like liquid stars. Beautiful, she whispered, her voice barely audible. You could have waited for me, a familiar voice grumbled behind her. She spun around to see Fenris padding out of the portal, his fur glowing faintly in the magical light. You really have a habit of rushing into things, don't you? I thought you weren't coming, she said, surprised. Someone has to keep you alive, Fenris replied dryly, shaking his fur as though to rid himself of the portal's residue. Now, where are we? I have no idea, Illyria admitted, turning to take in their surroundings. But it feels right. Fenris sniffed the air, his ears twitching. There's magic everywhere. Ancient, powerful magic. Be careful, it might not be as friendly as it seems. Illyria nodded, but her attention was drawn to a figure standing in the distance. Dressed in a flowing cloak of starlight, the figure radiated an aura of both power and serenity. They held a staff topped with a glowing crystal, and their gaze was fixed on her. Who are you? Illyria called, her voice steady despite the racing of her heart. The figure stepped closer, their features becoming clearer. They were neither man nor woman, their face ageless and their eyes filled with the wisdom of countless lifetimes. I am the keeper of the threshold, they said, their voice resonating like a melody. And you, Illyria, are the one I have been waiting for. Fenris growled softly, stepping in front of her. How do you know her name? The keeper smiled faintly. The portal only opens for those destined to cross. I have known her name since the moment she began her journey. Illyria stepped forward, her curiosity outweighing her caution. Why did the portal open for me? What is this place? This is the Nexus, the keeper explained. The heart of all worlds, where magic flows like a river and time has no meaning. You were chosen to come here because you seek something that only the Nexus can provide. And what is that? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Redemption, the keeper said simply. Illyria froze, her breath catching in her throat. How do you know? Your soul carries the weight of a great burden, the keeper interrupted gently. A loss that haunts you, a mistake you cannot forgive. The Nexus cannot erase your past, but it can offer you a chance to make peace with it. Fenris glanced at her, his amber eyes filled with concern. Illyria, what are they talking about? She looked away, her hands trembling. It doesn't matter. It does, Fenris said firmly. If this is why you've been searching, then I need to know. Illyria took a deep breath, her gaze fixed on the glowing river. I lost someone. Someone I loved. It was my fault, and I've spent every day since trying to find a way to make it right. The keeper nodded, their expression compassionate. The Nexus can help you, but the path will not be easy. You must face your pain, your fears, and your guilt. Only then can you find the peace you seek. Illyria looked at them, her eyes filled with both hope and fear. And if I fail? Failure is a choice, the keeper said. As is success. The outcome depends on your strength, your courage, and your willingness to confront the truth. She glanced at Fenris, who gave her a small nod. Whatever you decide, I'm with you, he said. Illyria squared her shoulders, determination hardening her expression. Then let's begin. The keepers smiled, raising their staff. Very well. The journey awaits. As the glowing light enveloped her once more, Illyria felt a strange mix of fear and hope. Whatever lay ahead, she knew one thing for certain: she would not face it alone.